Hi everyone, so this is a Schoology Training video, number 1. So what you guys are looking at is the home page once we log into Schoology. So once we log in, you'll notice that at the top here you have your selection tabs of Home, Courses, Groups, and Resources. The first part of what I want to go over is how to install a couple of really important apps to use when using Schoology. So you notice on the left hand side we can go down to where it says App Center, and we can click this to look at all the apps that we can install into Schoology which will support our instruction. So once over here, you'll notice a lot of familiar names and apps over here. And the first one that I recommend that you download is called Microsoft OneDrive Resource App. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on that, and at the top here you're going to click Install Resource App. Now when we install this, what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to take a file that you have in your OneDrive and push it out directly through Schoology. So the students will be able to work on that document without having to download it, and all they have to do to submit it is click a single button. So you're going to click Install Resource App, and then once you install this resource app, you're going to go to Your Resources, and you're going to go to Your Apps, and it should appear on what resources you've currently downloaded. Now the first thing it should do is where you see all this for me, this is my OneDrive, but it will prompt you to start with to log in. So you'll have to write your login information over here, and once you do, everything here will be linked. So once you log in and you link this, what we're going to do is we're going to create a document to practice pushing it out to students. You can pause this section right now if you want to wait for this to happen. So next, once you have this app installed, you're going to go to Courses, and you'll notice your courses have already been added, and they're added through Clever. So everything will always be here. You don't have to add or roster any students. So I made one class specifically for this purposes, Schoology Instruction. So when you look at your class, it should be blank like this to start with. You'll notice on the left-hand side there's materials, updates, gradebooks. There's a lot of different stuff that we'll explore later, but the first thing that I want to go over is how to add an assignment that students will get. So we go Add Materials, Add Assignment, and then we can call this Test Assignment number 1. So when making this, you'll notice that in the description here we can write over here, and we can use bullet points, we can do whatever we want, we can give an explanation for what the assignment is. If you want to attach a file, you can attach a file here by clicking, and it will open up to your documents. But the most important thing that we're going to start with is, since we've linked our OneDrive, it now will say Assign from App OneDrive. So we're going to start by clicking that, and it will go to the OneDrive app that you just linked, and you should have a folder created for whatever type of file that you want. So if we wanted to insert a file, we would go to the file that we want, we would click that, and we would click Attach. Now we would have to put a due date that this is going to be due the 26th, and we put a category, and we can create a new grading category. In this case, let's call this homework. You can name it whatever you want, and then you can go back to it and do it. So it helps organize your information. The scale, you can choose what type of scale. I'm going to use numeric because I like giving points out for different assignments, and then you're going to hit Create. So once that's created, a couple things happen. Test assignment number 1 appears, and students can now see this. If you decide to put an assignment out and you want them not to see it until it's time, you can click Unpublish. This little drop-down menu that I clicked is also the editing and settings menu. So you can edit it, you can change the name of the assignments, you can also copy it to another course. So if you want to make this and you have like 3 different classes, you can copy the course, and then you can click the other sections you'd like this assignment to be for. So what you're going to do with this assignment now is, once you've created it and you were to click on it, this new menu appears where it says Test Assignment, and you have Assignment, In Progress, and Submission. So over here, Assignment tells students what the assignment is, and if they need to download it, it is right there to download. In Progress tells you who's still working on it when you have students in your class, and it will have all students who are not yet completed with assignments. The nice thing is, even if they're not done, you still can see in this area what part of the assignment they're on. So you see everything they type, because technically you own the document, not them. It's just shared with them. And lastly, students who have submitted it will pop up here, and you can filter it by who you've already graded, who needs grading, who submitted it late, and who submitted it on time. And from the student view, while I can't show that here, you'll see it when you look at this assignments. They'll have a couple buttons such as view assignments, it will have edits, and submit assignments. They'll have to hit submit assignment, which will be over here, to submit the assignment when they're done, and then that is all there is to doing so. So everything is linked inside of Schoology that you pushed out through your OneDrive. Now, when you want to grade it, you just have to go to the class, Schoology Highlands over here, and you'd go back to your assignment, you'd click on it, and you'd see all the student responses over here. So this is how you submit an assignment through Schoology. And there's one more thing that I want to show you in this video. So when we go back to our course, if you decide that you want the students to have their own version of the copy, because I mentioned this way it is shared with them, but they don't own the file, you can also go to Add Materials and add what's called a page. And on this page, you can insert a file, and you can create that so that when you go to the page instead of an assignment, this isn't graded, it's just a resource. But if you want students to download a document, it then has that document there for students to download, and you can put whatever you want in this area to help the students maybe with a study guide or anything that's not necessarily graded. So the two types of materials that I'm going over in this video is something submitted through Schoology and a regular page. There's plenty of other resources and materials over here. You can add a folder to organize it, but that's all I'm going over for this video. So until the next video, take care.